this is kind of uncomfortable for me. I was vegetarian for the last 7 years. I never touched meat again. That stuff is so bad for you. I have a lot to say, so. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I am very excited for today's video because it's going to be such a casual chit chat about one of my favorite topics, nutrition. I feel like I often try to script really high quality videos because at heart, I am an artist and I love editing videos and making them just like super high production quality. However, I am still learning. And the other thing is that when I script my videos, I feel like a part of my like true personality kind of gets hidden because my mannerisms and the way that I speak kind of become a little bit mechanical. And so me, just being me, just talking like I am right now with no script whatsoever, would like to come out of hiding. And I think that once in a while, by sprinkling in these more kind of casual chit-chat videos, I'm gonna get more comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm also gonna be able to connect with you better because, to be honest, when I was looking into YouTube videos about how to build a better relationship to food, what I should be eating to put on muscle, learning about people's preferences and opinions about veganism and all sorts of things, this is the kind of content that I would research. I would literally type in like vlog, how to eat more balance, how to stop restrictive dieting, how to have a better relationship to food, etc., etc. And these kind of casual chit chats always made me feel some deeper level of comfort. I obviously want my channel to become a place that has all of my beautiful video editing skills displayed, but I also want it to be a place where you can come and get advice or insight or inspiration or learn something and just feel like we're best friends. You know, we're just talking, we're just hanging out, because if I try to constantly make really high quality videos, I'm also gonna burn out and not stick to this. And I'm very committed to my goals right now. I have like absolute tunnel vision and I just wanna like make content and create and just be more myself. And so this is kind of uncomfortable for me, but I am dedicated and we're gonna do this. I have made a ton of changes to my lifestyle in recent years to help me just live a more balanced life and be happier and more fulfilled, and also eat in a way that truly nourishes my body. In 2016, I went vegan overnight. I watched that documentary on Netflix called Forks Over Knives, and to be honest with you, I never touched meat again. At that time, I was also completing my university degree in environmental science and sustainable agriculture. And so I learned a lot about the factory farming system, and to put it simply, it completely changed my relationship to food. And I have always cared about eating in a healthy and a balanced way, but I think somewhere along the way, I got a little lost. I didn't stick to veganism too long, probably about a year, but it just wasn't working for me. I honestly found it really tough to get all of the protein that I needed. And I really, to be honest with you, just missed having like a piece of chicken or salmon. I was only vegan for about 1 year before I realized that like I had no energy. I was doing it completely uneducated. I wasn't getting enough protein, and I determined that that diet just wasn't for me. I also just want to say that I was eating a lot of like dairy and meat alternatives, like those processed like fake chicken nuggets and fake cheeses. And to be honest with you, that stuff is so bad for you. It is filled with so many synthetic fillers and additives. And I think for moral reasons was like, I cannot touch real dairy or meat. I feel so bad about doing this and I just can't do it. And I just didn't for so many years. And so I continued on that path for quite some time. I didn't stay vegan, but I was dairy-free and vegetarian for the last 7 years. In that time frame, I went through a lot of life. My 20s were really kind of messy years in the middle. I finished uni, then I experimented with a bunch of different jobs. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I burned out really bad and also went through a bit of personal stress. And on top of that, was diagnosed with PCOS and PMDD. I'm not necessarily going to go into those details about PCOS and PMDD in this video, but if you would like me to make a video about that, definitely please hit that thumbs up or leave me a comment down below because I would love to talk about it. I'm very passionate about it and I have a lot to say. So as I was saying, my 20s were really up and down years. I think that's just natural, that's just life. However, I do think that there was obviously a lot of contributing factors to why my health kind of declined. Over the course of the last couple of years, I lost about 30 pounds, 20 of which I would say I probably needed to lose at the time, 10 of which kind of fell off of me unnecessarily. And that included a lot of muscle that I spent years putting on. On top of that all, I started to go through a bit of hair loss, and I'm pretty self-conscious about those things, but I'm sharing this because I feel like that's just life, right? Like people go through these things and I don't want to just like hop on here and just be like, I have perfect skin and I have no issues and I'm super confident all the time, because we all have our own struggles and I don't want you to feel alone in that. Obviously, going through things like burnout or stress affected my health, but I also don't think that cutting out entire food groups was benefiting me. And so a couple of months ago, I started to just like look into people's nutrition journeys and kind of just how people eat. I was watching a few like what I eat in a day videos to get some inspiration as to just like how people eat more balanced. And I also went back to school to become a holistic nutritionist because I wanted to learn the ins and outs of how to build a better relationship to food and how to do it like holistically and naturally. And honestly, it was so worth it. I learned so much and I'm so grateful that I did that, because now I have so much of my own knowledge and experience that I can share with you. And there was this one day where I was on Instagram and I was scrolling through a bunch of reels, and this one popped up of a woman, I guess she had like a homesteading page or something, and she was making butter. And as I was watching her do this, something kind of like clicked within me that was basically like this feeling of like, wow, I want to eat from the earth again, right? Like eat what nature provided and intended for us to have, and eat whole foods, eat from the earth, and like connect to my food again. That moment sparked a very big mental and psychological journey of change for me, because for so long, I was like conflicted between my morals and what I thought was gonna help me just like stay fit and healthy. I was scared to go back to eating dairy. I didn't know if I wanted to eat meat. As a kid, I never liked the taste of meat. I haven't actually touched red meat since I was 11 years old. So it's been a long time, the majority of my life. But over the couple of months that I was like watching people's what I eat in a day videos and just hearing their stories about quitting vegetarianism or stopping veganism or whatever the case may be, I feel like I kind of got the courage to connect with my own intuition about what it means to truly be healthy. And I couldn't shake this feeling that I was just like missing out on life, on good food. Like food is so important, right? Like everyone has to eat to survive. And food is something that is sacred in so many cultures. And I think that being restrictive for so long and being like, you can't have that and you can't have this, was extremely unhealthy to my mindset. So a couple of months ago, I decided to start introducing very small amounts of dairy back into my diet, as well as lactose-free options, because in the span of obviously not eating dairy for almost a decade, I did become lactose intolerant. I also decided that I would go back to eating poultry. Me and mammals, we have a thing where like I cannot bring myself to eat red meat. That has just been a thing since literally I was 11. And maybe one day, but right now I am just not in a place where that really aligns with who I am as a person. And so red meat is still kind of off the table. However, I felt so much more balanced recently eating chicken and turkey and seafood of all kinds. and also having small amounts of dairy or lactose-free options. I'm honestly not just gonna go back to eating like full-on ice cream because I don't wanna give myself a massive stomach upset situation. I still love my coconut yogurt or my coconut ice cream, so those things are gonna still stay in my diet. But having the option of like lactose-free cottage cheese, which is incredibly clean, there's like 2 ingredients in it, is to me so much better than eating these, fake processed alternatives that have a million ingredients that you can't even pronounce. And so in summary, I kind of just want to share this message that if you want to build a better relationship to food, eat in a way that nourishes your body. That might look completely different to you versus how it looks to me. Some people have allergies, some people have sensitivities, other people have like taste preferences, and that's okay because diet is an incredibly personal concept. What works for me might not work for you and vice versa. And I think that for a long time, there was also a lot of stigma surrounding if you're vegan or not. Maybe that's just me because I watched a lot of like vegan YouTubers for many, many years and followed their journey and their lives. And I feel like there was so much negativity and criticism about like, if you love animals, you can't eat them, or the only way to like live your life is go vegan, or even the total opposite of like carnivore diet all the way. And to be honest, I'm so over these like extremes. Right now, my diet is so much more balanced and it feels so freeing to not have any more off-limit foods. For years, I struggled with like binge eating because I would tell myself like, no, you can't have that. And to be honest, that mentality just made me want the thing more. And so I would end up eating like half my kitchen to the point of like feeling sick because I had no control over it. Switching to more of like an intuitive eating approach has been so helpful because nothing is off limits. If I want to have a piece of cake, I can now like mentally check in with myself and be like, that cake probably has a ton of dairy. You don't want a stomach ache, but you're allowed to have it, so go have a small piece. I also love chocolate, and being able to have like a piece of milk chocolate once in a while has honestly just been so incredibly psychologically freeing. If you've been struggling with having a balanced relationship to food, eat intuitively, listen to your body, check in with yourself, don't follow trends, and make sure to focus on the quality of your food over the quantity as well. Regardless of like whatever you're trying to do, whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or put on muscle, don't focus so much on calories. Obviously, yes, they are important, but focus on where your food is coming from. Focus on how many ingredients it contains. Read labels and ingredients lists. Get familiar with how your food is produced and sourced. Go for the cleanest and most sustainable options. This is how I've been living lately, and to be honest with you, it's been very freeing and very healing. When you're not counting calories and you're just focusing on connecting with your food and your body and being grateful for the fact that you even have a meal in front of you, it's life-changing. It really is. And so I want you to remember that if you're trying to build a better relationship to food. I appreciate you listening to my little chit chat today. If this was comforting to you, if you found any value in it, don't forget to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing that as it really supports my channel. I'm gonna leave this video here, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And with that, I will see you next Sunday in my next video.